Hey, what's going on? What's up? What's happening, everybody? What's going on? What's good? What's great? What's good? What's great? What's good again? Welcome to the Authors Alley, the show to where we talk about the show to where we talk to authors of all genres and we talk about not only their writing journey, but also the reason why they write the books that they write. And also we talk more than just about the books that they write, that the authors write. We talk about what the reasons as to why they got here, what pushed it, what got them to this point as authors, and what that pivot is. So first and foremost, I'm glad you guys are with me tonight. You guys could have been anywhere else, but you guys are right here rocking it out with me, and I am appreciative of that. So we're gonna do it a little bit different tonight. Instead of bringing an author on, well, y'all see where I'm going with this in a moment. But before we even get to that, man, just want to tell y'all that first of all, we thank you. We thank you so very much for tuning in with us, you guys. I appreciate you guys going to our YouTube channel and liking and subscribing to our channel. I appreciate you guys going to our Twitch channel and taking a look at looking at our live content there. I appreciate you guys going to our Facebook channels, our collective and respective Facebook channels. Um, I so appreciate you guys for doing that. I so appreciate you guys for your support and for your support, man. Your viewership, and your listenership means a lot to us, man. Um, Want to most definitely give a shout out to my to my hosts, my partners, my partners in this venture, Kai Rodriguez, Tony Wade, LHG, Coco Fenton, man. I appreciate you guys for being here, being the stalwart people that you are, and for standing by me and this and standing by me and this journey, man. So I appreciate that so very much, man. Um, I really do appreciate that. So this part I'm gonna do. We're doing something. I'm doing something a little. I'm doing something a little different this month. Now, don't get me wrong. The authors allergies. We're still gonna have authors in the building. Most definitely gonna have authors in the building. So, still gonna have authors in the building. That's cool. We're gonna still do that. One of the things is one of the things I'm doing this month is I'm going to honor the authors honor the authors that I follow. Honor the authors that I follow. Also, the honor the authors that have been so kind enough to bless me with a copy of their books and things of that nature. I have a I have a I have a bookshelf that's full of books from authors that I follow and authors that I follow and then authors that I deem are my favorite. And I have a lot of favorites. A lot of favorites. But what I want to do this month, I want to honor those authors by by first and foremost talking about their book. You know, letting those authors know how their book or how their book or their writing affected me as a person. Not only as a person, but also as a person who's taking who's walking this journey of life and trying to learn the lessons that are in it. So so yeah, every Thursday, every Thursday this month, I plan on featuring one or two authors on this featuring one or two authors. And I want to give them their flowers for the creative works that they've done because I think it's important that we give authors or any creative their flowers, whether it's music, whether it's a playwright, whether they're doing something else like um, creating opportunities for young people to be able to um, jump into the creative arts, you know, things like that. So I want to give these guys their flowers while they're here, and I want to recognize them for their artistic creations and the things that they've done while they're here, while they're here. So Without any further delay, let's jump right. Let's jump. I don't plan on being before you guys very very long. So without any further delay, let's get right. Let's jump right into it. So the first book that I'm going to review today, the first book that I'm going to review tonight. Um, now I am gonna introduce who the author of the book, who each of these books are, and everything of that nature. And I'm gonna read the brief synopsis of each book, a brief synopsis of each book, and then I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna go through the verse the things that stood out the most for me in the book in each book. So the first book I'm gonna review tonight is gonna be a book by someone that I adore, someone that I love with all dearly with all my heart, someone that someone who that I understand about that I really understand the journey of her getting to this particular point to being a published author. Now she's published a lot of works with Angela Thomas Smith, but this is a first actual standalone published work, and her book released. She did a book release party on the 7th of July, which was her birthday, which was a monumentous occasion. Um, I'll say that I'll say that it was a very, very monumentous and very great occasion. And then she was able to go out and also do a reading of some of her poetry out in Cobb County, a couple of months after that. And again, a great occasion. She was able to share her works with not only with me, but for the rest of the world to read and to take in and to take in the greatness of who she is. The person I'm talking about is none other than Monica Reese, aka Mari the poet. And the book I'm going to review or talk about for a few moments is this book right here, Reflections of the Heart. So the synopsis reads as this: the poems that are presented in this book represents the soul of who I am as a person and as a woman who is constantly navigating her waters, not just to find safe harbor, but to find a pathway of navigation that is less painful and more fulfilling. It has taken me years to get to a point to where I'm comfortable in expressing myself through poetic verse. It is my hope that these words, stanzas, pronouns, verbs, and adverbs touch your heart and soul just as much as they touched mine while writing them. I can't think of anything more profound than that synopsis. This is a book of poetry written by her. Um, the first thing that I want to tell you guys that I did, that I had a hand in helping her publish this because there was a lot of she didn't. I mean, she didn't want to do it, but with a little bit of encouragement, she did. So I had a hand in helping her get this published, walking her through helping walk her through the publishing process, as far as the formatting and the editing process and things of that nature. So I had a hand and I had a great hand, a big hand in helping her do this, and I can't. And what I will say is that I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of the work. I'm very proud of the work that she has presented in this book. I'm very proud of the things that she was able to express in this book. There are a lot of things that when we as writers write, we we allow our emotions to bleed on the page because we want people that read our works to take a small piece of us with them, so that way they can understand where we are or where we were at the time when we wrote it when we wrote what we wrote. And I can't say that I could, and I am very, I can't say that I'm very proud of her. I can say this for a fact that I'm very, very proud of her. I'm very proud of the product that she put out. I'm very proud of this book. Very proud of the presentation of the book. Um, and I'm proud of her as a as an author. You know, finally being able to. And she's like I said, she's already written things with. She's already participated in compilating in anthologies with Angela Thomas Smith. So her work is found there. But I'm very proud of her about this particular work that she presented to us to for the whole world to see, whole world to read. And if you haven't, and if you didn't pick it, if you haven't picked up this book, I implore you to I implore you to go to Amazon and look up Monica Reese or Monry the poet and look and search for Reflections of the Heart because it is available right now on Amazon. So I implore you to go pick up this book. But there are some pieces in here that really stuck out for me. And the reason I say they stuck out to me is because they they stuck out to me because there's some things in here, there's some things that I can relate to, that I can resonate with. And I want to read a couple of pieces. I want to read a couple of pieces. I want to read a couple of those pieces to you right now. Or well, maybe two, maybe not a couple, but maybe two, maybe three or four pieces, but most definitely a couple. So the first piece I'm going to read to you, and then after I read, I'm going to let you know why it resonated with me. So the first piece I'm going to read to you is I give up. I give up. Here's the bullets in the gun. I give up. Try to tie this knot on the rope for me to hang. I give up on finding the right spot on my wrist to cut. I give up on living for the world when the world nor people in it would ever live for me. Take your tools of destruction. I have my own. I give up on trying to be anything for anyone who refuses to be anything for me. Fuck fake love and all the strings and attachments that come with it. I give up on loving people who only pretend to love me. My seasonal position is now coming to an end. I give up. The end. That is a very powerful piece. And the reason that it's a powerful piece to me is because I can walk back to my own journey with um I can walk back to my own journey of wanting to not be on this, but of wanting to not be in this space, not wanting to be on this in this plane of existence, not wanting to be here on this planet. And a lot of the thoughts that are a lot of the thoughts, a lot of the words in this piece echo my thought processes. They echoed what I was feeling. They echoed what I thought that people thought of me. They echoed a place of giving up, a place of not wanting to be a place of not wanting to be here, a thought process of not wanting to exist in a world in a place in a world or in a place to where my presence wasn't wanted or needed. And it takes me right back to it takes me right back to 2020. All those thoughts, all those all those thoughts that I was feeling, all the that feeling of hopelessness, that feeling of despondency and and everything, and the whole thought, the thoughts, wow, the thought of me wanting to do what be the thought of the actual action that I attempted. Thank God it didn't work, but the actual action that I attempted. And I know that there's a lot of us on this planet a lot of us on this planet that go through that. You know, you're at your point, you're at that point of despondency to where you it's not this is not what you want to do. This is not where you want to be. You rather be somewhere else away from people who've hurt you and who've done you wrong. So this piece to me was expertly written, and it reflects a lot of reflects a lot of what I've went through as an individual. What it reflects a lot of the things that I went through in that particular aspect of my life. And I think a lot of people when they read this piece, they will read it, it'll resonate with them when they read it and when they see it, and they'll be like, "Well, that was me at one point," or "Damn, that is me. That is me." So, me personally, I love this piece. I personally love this piece for what it represents in my life, what it represents, what it represents the effort and the pain and the struggle of trying to push forward when you did what when you don't when you want to give up, when you want to just take yourself out of here. So this piece has a special place in my heart for the very reason that I read that it truly resonates with me in my soul and in my spirit. So it is it's a sentimental piece, but it's also a very emotional piece. Another piece that I want to read for you, and I'm actually looking for it. I had some I had these pieces marked off, but I did mark I guess I didn't mark them off, honestly speaking, but that's fine. And I'm taking my time with this, taking my time with these reading and these reviews because I want plus because I will also want the authors to know that I am appreciative of the work that you do and that what you write, what you guys write, when I read it, it does resonate with me. And I apologize, y'all. I'm looking for the piece that I want to read. Like I said, this book has a lot of them. Ah, here we go. This is here I found it right here. So the next piece I'm going to read is called "The Owner of My Heart." If this love thing isn't for you, then let me know before I start to let my guard down or let you enter in my peaceful space. Enter my peaceful space. I'm giving you fair warning. If this love thing isn't for you, then let me know before I start opening up my heart and start introducing you to my family and friends. I'm giving you fair warning. If this love thing isn't for you, then let me know before I start smiling at the sound of your name. I'm giving you fair warning. If this love thing isn't for you, then please let me know before I start. Sincerely, the owner of my heart. Now, I like this piece because it's for the simple fact is this is letting letting the individual that individual that is being addressed to know that, hey, look, if you don't want to be in love with me, then tell me before I do things like letting my guard down or opening up my heart to you or introducing you to my family or you know when I hear your name and start smiling and start smiling when I hear when I hear your name. It's it's giving that individual a fair warning. And it's letting that person know that, hey, if you do, if this isn't for you, then you've been warned. Because because of right now, you're the owner of my heart. So I want you to understand. I want you to be like, want you to know what you're getting into before you jump into this. You got a fair warning, and I'm letting you know that once these things start, there's nothing else that's going to be going down. Because it's always going to be all about you and nothing else. Hey, Facebook user, I don't know who you are, but hello, how are you? Good evening. So I love this piece because of what it represents. It gives a person this fair warning, like before I decide to do anything, before I decide to let my guard down, before I decide to introduce you to family and friends, before I even decide to even get giddy or smile or get butterflies when I hear your name, let me know what's up. Let me know what's up. And I think that this represents a lot of some people that most definitely representative of the writer, most definitely representative of Miss Reese, because I think when we go through so many things or we go through so many heartaches and so many disappointments, we are a bit wary about we are a bit wary about that because you know we are a bit wary about that. And it's again, it's a fair warning to the person who owns her heart. If this love thing isn't for you, then let me know before we start doing that, before we start going down that road. Let me know before we start going down that path because you know, and I love the way that I love the way that this is written because the simple fact because he ends it sincerely, the owner of my heart. Again, it's letting the person who letting the person that is addressed to know, hey, you have my heart, so let me know up front if this love thing ain't for you. You know what I mean? So if it's not, then I can move forward. We can just go our separate ways and keep it pushing. I love this piece because of what it represents and what it represents to a lot of people. Because a lot of people fall haphazardly into that, and they don't kind of they don't kind of deal they don't deal with that. There's so many, what I'm saying, there's another piece in here that I most definitely want to read, and I'm looking for it right now because this one this one has a lot of feeling to it, a lot of everything to it. So this one I mean, I'm gonna read it twice because I want because there's a meaning into it that I want people to understand. What is life? What does the name of the poem? The name of the piece is called "What Does Black Lives Be? What does Black Lives Matter be to you?" It is added. The title of the poem is basically asking the question: beginning to live meticulously as the days turn into weeks turn into months, and months into years. Begin to live meticulously, enjoying life, but also thinking twice. Think twice about your actions, reactions, and interactions. Because what's good for the goose is usually not good for the duck. That's why it seems that black lives don't really mean much. But begin to live meticulously because your dark skin causes a rift in society that can ultimately cost you your life. I'm gonna read that again. So because I want you guys to understand the meaning that I pick up when I read this piece and when I think about it. Beginning to live meticulously as days turn into weeks turn into months, and months turn into years. Begin to live meticulously, enjoying life, but also thinking twice. Think twice about your actions, reactions, and interactions. Because what's good for the goose is usually not good for the duck. That's why it seems that black lives don't really mean much. But begin to live meticulously because your dark skin causes a rift in society that can ultimately cost you your life. If you guys did not get the meaning, get the understand the meaning or the deeper meaning of that particular piece, let me break it down to you. The simple fact that we as black people, we as black people, we have to think twice about how we react, how we interact, how we excuse me, we have to think twice about our actions because we all know that our actions for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and also that choices have consequences, right? We understand that, but it seems like our actions and our reactions or our interactions, we tend to pay double price. And I think the second stanza really kind of really the second stanza really brings it the third stanza really brings this home to me because what's good for the goose is usually not good for the duck. That's why it seems that black lives don't really mean much. But and I think we all know what that means when we say that. When if we were to do something that was wholly egregious, that was wholly egregious and something that really wasn't that was really heinous, we be punished to here, we be punished or we be punished from here to Pluto for it. We be vanquished 20 times over for an action for any type of action. And the greatest example I'll give is what happened. The greatest example is what happened on January 6th. If that was us doing that, if that was black folk doing that, we would have been we would have been done in a million times over. But it wasn't us. We're not afforded a pass. We're not afforded a hall pass. We don't get it. We don't get to get out of jail for car. We don't get out of jail. We don't get to get out of jail for car. Get out of jail for free card. The last stanza to me brings it home. Begin to live meticulously because your dark skin causes a rift in society that can ultimately cost you your life. Who we are as a threat. Who we are as a threat. Even in 2023, we're still even in 20. This is the year 2023. We're still looked at as a threat. We're looked at as a threat. Hey, Richard, thank you so very much, man. Thank you so very much for tuning in, brother. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. I got your books coming up next, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Richard. But this last stanza brings it home to me. It brings that point home because of the simple fact that who we are as a people it does cause a rift in society. It does put people. It does put take. It does put people in fear. Simple for the simple fact of the day. Simple fact of the matter is because they still look at us as since they still look at us as not being human beings, and that's not cool. I love how this poem is written, and I love how it's presented. Every last stanza, every last word in here has meaning behind it. If there's a deeper meaning into it. So I love how this piece is written. I love how this piece was presented because this it presents an all too familiar thing that goes on in this world. And it represents something that is not always looked at in a fair light. So my overall verdict on Reflections of the Heart. Oops. Reflections of the Heart by Mari the poet, aka Monica Reese. My overall verdict, just for and I read this book in its entirety at least once or twice. I won't take that. I read this book in its entirety more than twice. It is very expertly written, and it chronicles the reflections of the writer's heart, where how she feels about certain situations, how she feels about love, how she feels about herself, how she feels about how she feels about certain other situations that go by. These are direct reflections of who every piece is a direct reflection of who she is as a person. Every piece that I've read in this book is a direct shows me insights of her as a person. And I think that's something that is very, very needed in the times that we live in. You know, this is a creative person she's poured her heart and her soul into every piece that was written here, that was written. And again, it reflects the journey of someone who is navigating her pathway. Not necessarily to find safe harbor, but to navigate through a pathway that leads to love and peace and prosperity. I think this P this book speaks to a lot would speak this book speaks to a lot of us who are navigating that path and who are trying to make it in this lifetime. Excuse me. So I highly recommend that you pick up this book. Highly recommended. It's highly recommended by me. I'm good. I'm I'm gonna give it 5 stars right here live. I'm gonna give it 5 stars right now because I like the way I love the way that it was written, and I love the way that each one of these pieces reflects our own life's journey. If you guys want to get this book, man, you guys can go to Amazon.com, search up either Monry the poet, search up either Monry or Monica Reese, or search up the title Reflections of the Heart. The book is available now as a paperback on Amazon.com. And the one thing that I'm gonna constantly say, and I'm gonna just constantly repeat this: if you do happen to pick up a paperback, do pick up the paperback version of this book. Please do me a favor, do me a solid. Please leave a review for this writer. Reviews help us as writers more than you will ever know. It helps us to improve our content. It helps us to bring better content to you, but it also helps us to see also helps us to take a look at what you like and what you don't like about the book, what you don't like about the book. So you can find Reflections of the Heart on Amazon.com. Search Mari the Poet or search Monica Reese. Also search Reflections of the Heart as the book title. So gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna review our second we're gonna review our second and final book of this evening. So we'll be right back, y'all. You guys sit tight, hang tight. And I'm gonna give you guys gonna give you guys a quick musical interlude, and we'll be right back. Hey, and we're back. We are back. And we are back. Hey, well, again, if you guys are just now tuning in, welcome back. Welcome back to the Office Alley. I am Frederick Beatty, your host. And tonight we are honoring two authors tonight. We are honoring two authors tonight. First, I'm doing an honest and doing an honest review of each book that I'm presenting here tonight. The first book that I did a review on was Reflections of the Heart by my sister, by the love of my life, Monica Reese. And if you guys want to get this book, it is available right now on Amazon. It's available right now as a paperback on Amazon.com. Make sure you go get this book right now. It is a very great book, and I guarantee that you guys will be edified, will be entertained, and you will be edified and entertained as well as educated. So do me a favor, grab this book, and then if you when you do grab it and when you do read it, please leave a review. Much appreciated. So the second book that I'm gonna review tonight is, and I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of backstory about this right here. This dude right here was this this book right here came like out of the blue. And when I say out of the blue, because well, I put it like this: both these guys, both these authors, pardon me, both these authors came out of the blue because first of all, I mean, first of all, I always do that. I always do that. Monica had great verse, had great poetry and things of that nature, which was the simple fact of the matter. There was the simple fact of the matter of just getting it out there to the world, get it out there for the world to read, the world to see and read. Number one, but this dude right here, this guy right here, straight out of the blue. And when I say out of the blue is because I never expected this. I never expected this gentleman to. He didn't look like the poetry type, the poetry type. This looked like someone who would write poetry or write stuff that write things. That's not to say that he's not able. That's not to say that he's not capable of doing it, but he is. It's just I'm pleasantly surprised by it. And I had the honor of interviewing him on the Office Alley, man. And it was a great time. We had a great time. And first and foremost, man, I want to say, you know, again, man, big shout out to you, big shout out to you, brother. I mean, I am in awe of your talent and things of that nature, and just keep pushing that rock forward. So the second book that we're going to review is Beautiful Journey by my brother Richard Kelly. The synopsis is very, very simple. Overcoming hard times that could have made you give up. Seeing life's hardships as a beautiful journey. Very, very profound in that. And a lot of what he's written in this book is talks about a lot of journeys. A lot of journeys. And there's a lot of pieces in here that oh my that just like the pieces in in Monica's book that speak to me. There are some pieces in this book that speak to me. And then when I say they speak to me, I say they really speak to me because they pull me back into a remembrance of something or someone. So without any further ado, man, I'm gonna jump into the jump and read at least three pieces from this book, Beautiful Journey by my brother Richard Kelly. So the first piece that I'm gonna read is called I Miss You. I woke up this morning thinking of you again. Tears on my pillow. I really lost a friend. Ever since God called you home, my life will never be the same. I try to be strong, but I feel so weak inside. The truth is, I lost a piece of me when I lost you. Grandma, I wrote this song for you because I miss you. I wish I could see or hear your voice again. I just want to talk to you. I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Things have been crazy. Family's not the same. I don't feel that love at holiday dinners. To be honest, the food is not the same. I know you are smiling because I always knew what to say to make you smile. You said I was a strong one, but grandma, I feel so weak. Oh yeah, grandma, I still have those pretty teeth. I didn't notice it as a child, but your tough love made me strong. You were one of the strongest people I knew, and I miss you. Grandma, I wrote this song for you. I miss you. Wish I could see or hear your voice again. I just want to talk to you. I miss you. Yeah, I miss you. Oh man. Oh man. Um this this piece, I can feel the sentimentality and I can feel the love and the strong emotion and the strong emotional attachment in this particular piece. I could tell that there was a lot of thought process in writing this piece. I could tell he took his time to write this piece because and I'm pre- and I'm pretty sure while writing this piece there were a lot of tears. And for me, it brings me back to where I lost both my maternal and my paternal grandmother. I lost my maternal grandmother around 2018 or something like that, which is my mom's mom, and I lost my paternal grandmother a couple of years ago. And so for me, each one of those instances, I got the opportunity to speak with my maternal grandmother. I reminisced about the times where we all spent as kids, as children. We were able to hang out with her, hang out with her and the family, um, over on East Ontario and in Southwest Atlanta or East Ontario, and it brought me back to those summers, the summers that we got to spend out there at that house. But it also brought me back to my paternal grandmother, and it brought me back to the times that where to the days in the falls, and where we went over to my grandmother's house and raked leaves and did yard work. Even though we didn't want to do it, we even though we didn't want to do it, we enjoyed doing it because it was number one. It was a time where it was a good thing. It was time for us. It was a good thing for us. It was a good thing for us to be outside, be out the house, but also spend time with our father, but also spend time with our grandmother. And I can all and the one of the things that I always remember with both my grandmothers, maternal and paternal, is that it was always a good time. It was always a time that was filled with love and and happiness and laughter and and just family bonding. When my maternal grandmother passed, it 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 did just as the writer is expressing without really expressing it. There's a rift there. There's a there's a hole in the heart there that had that probably will never be replaced or never be that'll never have a place. And it's the same with me when I think about my maternal and my paternal grandmother. Both of these ladies, and one of the other things I could pick up in from the writer for Richard and for Richard for Richard as he's writing this is picking up the tremendous amount of love that he has not had has for his grandmother. And for me, for my maternal and my paternal grandmother, there was a tremendous amount of love because for me, they were very integral. They were a very integral part of my growing up as a child. We would always spend Christmas Eve with my grandmother, with my paternal grandmother, my father's mother, and then we would spend Christmas Day with my mom's mother, with my mom's mother. And we would always switch out holidays like that. And it was always it didn't matter because it was always a good time. And when I read this piece and I think about the times that I spent with my grandmothers, I do get emotional because of the tremendous value that my both my grandmothers gave to me. And also that I and I'm and also the for the I'm so very fortunate that they birthed the parents that I have. I most definitely feel the love here. Most definitely feel the love. I feel the love, but I also feel the pain. There is pain. There is pain in losing someone. There is pain in not being able to hear not being able to hear a loved one's voice, not being able to not being able to see a loved one's face, not being able to feel that loved one's embrace when they hug you. Certain sounds, certain smells, certain taste aren't the same. Just like you said, he doesn't feel don't feel that love at holiday dinners because the matriarch of the family is not there, no longer there. I love how this piece I love how this piece reflects the emotion of missing someone. But also I love the simple fact that towards the end of it, towards the end of it, he acknowledges he acknowledges the value that she brought to him. That same value that same value that he he lives out in his life to this day. Great poem, expertly written. The second piece that I'm going to read, and I'm looking for it again, looking for it again. There's a piece that's on the right as on the right up on the next page. It's called "I Can Make It Through Anything." I didn't know how strong I was. But now I know I can make it through anything. Life kept knocking me down, but I kept on pushing. My heart was broken and I faced so many failures. Yes, I know the feeling of losing someone close to my heart. I lost my grandma and my uncle, but I take them everywhere that I go. I've been without and it doesn't feel good. Sleeping in cars and staying in hotels. I had family turn their back on me. Friends I trusted betrayed me and counted me out. People threw dirt on my name, but I overcame. I couldn't let people stop me from winning. So I kept pushing, knowing one day I would make it out of the hood. Trying to be successful was never easy. I had people laugh at my dreams and goals. So many trials, ups and downs coming from a small town. Had to get my mind right for where I wanted to go. Crying late at night because I felt like a failure. I lost jobs, cars, and a lot of material things. But through the pain, I gained strength to make it through. I didn't know how strong I was, but now I know I can make it through anything. I love you and I'm so grateful for you and all the time God let me spend with you. You are the boss of all family holidays. Life story. Wow. This talk speaks to a lot of things. A lot of things, man. A lot of things in my own personal life. Just like Monica's poem, I Give Up, speaks to my own personal journey with not wanting to be on this planet. This piece speaks to the same thing, but it also speaks to where speaks to speaks to the resolve. Speaks to speaks to me not realizing speaks to I think it speaks to a lot of people not realizing how strong we are until our strength is put to the test. We don't know how to we don't know we've truly been tested. We don't know we truly been through a test until we're tested. It also speaks to what are the things what are the sentences that speak out the most to me is I had to get my mind right for where I wanted to go. That sentence in and of itself speaks volumes to me. It speaks volumes to me because of the simple fact that when we go through all these things that life pulls us in and takes us through and exposes us to and knocks us down, and then we get back up and then we get knocked back down again, and then we get back up and then we get knocked back down again, and then it becomes harder and harder to get back up after continuous knockdowns. This phrase speaks the loudest of all in this piece. I had to get my mind right for where I wanted to go. And we have to get our minds right for where we want to go, for where we want to go or for where we want to be. If we're wanting to go a different direction, if we want to go a different direction in the journey that we're taking, we have to prepare our minds for that. Anywhere we go in this journey of life, we have to prepare our mind. We have to not only do we have to prepare our hearts and our spirits, but we also have to prepare our minds for where we want to go. Because the simple fact of the matter is, the journey, this where we're going is going to present things that's going to challenge us, that's going to test us. It's going to test our endurance. It's going to test our endurance. It's going to test our spiritual endurance, our mental endurance, our emotional endurance, and at times it'll test our physical endurance. We're also going to be challenged. We're going to be challenged in ways that we would have never thought of being challenged before, and that speaks volumes too, to a lot. If we if we know where we know where we want to go, we have to get our minds right. We have to get our spirits right, because where we're going is not going to be an easy road. And it's this poem speaks a lot to the trials and tribulations that we all endure in life, and that regardless of what we go through, we can make it through anything. It doesn't matter what life throws at us. It doesn't matter how hard we've been hit. Doesn't matter how hard we've been. Doesn't how many been times we've been knocked down. We can make it through anything. As long as we believe that we can make it through anything, as long as we have God on our side, of course we're going to be able to make it through a lot of things. But we have to have the patience to endure. And that's the thing that I'm picking up from this piece. And that's what I'm picking up from the writer, that we have to have the patience to endure. That particular phrase, I had to get my mind right for where I wanted to go. That lets me know that tells me about patience. You got to get your mind right to get ready to go where you want to go. I love how this piece was written. I love how it speaks to his own shortcomings and his own trials and tribulations, and how he still says he can make it through anything no matter what's been thrown at him. I love that. I love that. And then the last piece I'm going to read in this book, and it's a toss up between two pieces. So it's a toss up between two pieces. So this is what I'm gonna go with this one. Name of the piece is called "He Found Me." I thought I was strong until life humbled me. I felt so much defeat. I felt no love around me. Another birthday passed. I was running out of time. So much pain in my heart. Lost trust in family and friends. I hid my pain in riches and fame. I knew you were calling, but I ran. I thought I wasn't good enough for you. So every day I hid from you. I hid from you in my own mind. But the whole time you were watching over me. You changed my life. Thank you for finding me. I will never be the same. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all. When to me that sounds like a heartfelt confession. It felt like it feels like a heartfelt confession. A heartfelt confession of him of the writer saying that, he you know what I you know the last few sentences of this piece speaks volumes. It speaks volumes for me. I don't know about anybody else, but it speaks volumes for me. I knew you were calling, but I ran. I thought I wasn't good enough for you, so every day I hid from you in my own mind. But the whole time you were watching over me and you changed my life. If that's not about God, I don't know what is. If that doesn't speak to God, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what it speaks to. I know what if that doesn't speak to God, if that isn't a direct message to God, and I know it is because that's me. Because that was me, and that was me at one point in my life. I knew God was calling on me. I knew God was pulling me. I knew God was was pulling me and calling me and trying to submerge me to stretch me. But every time he called, I ran away. Every time he said, come here, Frederick, come here, Fred. I kept going, kept moving away. Every time I looked at everybody else that was looked at everybody else that I saw around me that was being blessed and being touched and being had their lives changed by God. I thought I wasn't good. Thought I was not. I thought I wasn't good enough for that. Wasn't good enough for it. So the writer saying is pretty much saying the same things that I thought at that point in time. So I thought I wasn't good enough. So every day, every moment, every hour, every minute, second, I hid. I hid it from him in my own mind. Never knowing that though, never knowing that the whole while that he had been, whole while that he had been, whole while that he had been gently guiding me and watching over me to this moment in time, to this particular moment in this dispensation. Never knew that. I knew, but I didn't know. And in some instances, I was like, "Yeah, well, that's not." And when in the stages where I didn't really recognize that, I was like, "Yeah, that's not what that is." But not knowing the whole time I was being watched over and was being gently guided to this particular point, to this particular time, this particular moment in space and time in this particular this dispensation. And to know that I was being guided is something that I was being guided to, and I can most definitely empathize with the reader, with the writer, with the writer in this, is that once I was being guided by everything, every aspect of my life changed. And at that point, I had to say thank you for finding me, because at that point, I because when I didn't want to be found, I thought when I didn't want to be found, I hid. And I made sure that I made sure that I tried to be well hidden. But I won't even say unfortunately, but you can't hide from God for you can't hide from God forever. And I think this speaks volumes to those people who for those people who feel that they're not good enough for God. I feel that they need to hide themselves from God. God, you don't have to do that. You don't have to hide. God sees you. God sees you. God sees you where you are. If you think you're not good enough for God, then you think you're not good enough for God, then you be wrong. You be wrong. It's such a wonderful feeling to be found by the Almighty God. It's so wonderful. It's such a wonderful feeling to be found by God, because the simple fact of the matter is you're free. You're you know you when you're found, you're free. That's all I can say. That's all I really can say. I my it's there's so much more that I could say to that. But I don't want to prolong the time, but so I want to give you guys my final verdict on Beautiful Journey. Um, this poetry book also gets 5 stars from me. Um, this is a reflection of this for me reading this poetry, this book of poetry. This book of poetry and short stories. It reminds me of the journeys that the journeys that we all go through in life, and we do it, and how he looks at every journey, every moment as something beautiful. He sees something beautiful in it. He sees something wonderful in it. And I think we all as human beings should look at life as a beautiful journey. It's gonna have it's gonna have a share of ugliness and ugly times, but tough times don't last, tough people do. Ugly times don't last either. If you can see the beauty in tragedy, if you can see the beauty in failure, if you can see the beauty in loss, if you can see the beauty in if you can see the beauty in those things. And I know that it's a hard thing to say, and I'm saying it when I say this with a lot, and I say this, and it's a touchy thing for me emotionally. But when we're able to see the beauty in tragedy, when we're able to say see the beauty in loss, when we're able to see the beauty in failure, we begin to see things in a different perspective, in a different light, in a different way. And I think this is what this book is about. I love it. I really do love it. I want to First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to both Monica Reese and Richard Kelly. Um, first and foremost, um, because the simple fact of the matter is that they both chose to come out the gate come out the gate swinging. Monica Reese with her poems that reflect that give deep reflections of her heart, that reveal deep reflections of her heart, that shows that it shows a lot of emotion and strength. But it also shows it, but it also shows a bit shows a vulnerability there, shows a vulnerability as well. And a lot of what she writes, a lot of the for a lot of what she writes, what she's written in her this book of poetry speaks to that vulnerability. And another shout out to my boy, to my brother Richard for these. Both of these books are excellent books. They're highly recommended for me. And a big shout out to Richard and like a big shout out to Richard and Monica. I mean, Richard's book is talks about how 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 even though life look has its ups and downs and its ins and outs and its good times and bad times, you can still look at it as a beautiful journey. So big shout out to both of these guys, man. I want to say I want to tell the I want to personally say thank you to both of you because I have been deeply touched by your work. I've been deeply touched by your works. I've been deeply touched by what you guys have written down here. And these are two books that I'm gonna hold very close to my heart because of what each piece in in each one of their books mean has for me have a value to them a value to me have a value for me. And again, I want and again to find to if you're looking for Richard Kelly's book, Beautiful Journey, books available on Amazon. Go to search up my brother Richard Kelly, or search up Beautiful Journey, and you'll be able to find those books. Both of these books, this book right here, Beautiful Journey, is available right now as a paperback on Amazon. Do me a solid, go get this book. You will not go get this book, and also get this book, Reflections of the Heart. You will not be disappointed in either one of them. I promise you that. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight to watch this. This is something that I plan. This is something I plan on doing throughout this. Is something I plan on doing throughout the month of December, and I plan on doing this a lot more because I feel as creatives we need our voices need to be heard. Our voices need to be heard beyond just the written words that we put on paper, that we put on a book. I'm looking, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm looking forward to having you come back on here and we talk about that. We talk about that at length. So I'm looking forward to that. And yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in. For those who tuned in tonight, I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight and hanging out with me for this short time that I got, the short time that I used to review two beautifully written books by two wonderful wonderful authors. I want to say this to both those authors, to both Monica Reese and Richard Kelly. Man, I thank you guys for just first of all, I thank you guys for allowing me to just take these books and read them in their entirety. But also, I thank you for just impacting my life with these words, the words that you've written in these books, both of these books. I'm thoroughly grateful. I'm thoroughly grateful. So I'm very appreciative of both of you. Like I said, every Thursday in December we're gonna do this. We're gonna feature either one or two authors, and we're gonna talk about their book. We're gonna talk about what I thought of the book. We're also gonna may we'll read a passage or two from each book, and then we're gonna talk about my overall verdict of it. So you never know whose book I'm gonna you never know whose book I'm gonna pull up and review. You know, as an author myself, um, I think that these reviews types of things are necessary because it helps us it introduces us to to a different audience. And I want to introduce you guys, these authors, to our audience. So if you're part of our listening and viewing listening and viewing audience, please do me a favor. Go to Amazon. Go pick up Beautiful Journey. Go pick up Reflections of the Heart right now. Both of them are paperback. Both of them are available on Amazon. And then do me a solid, leave a review for both these talented writers because reviews help us as creatives in such a major way. So do me that solid and do that for me, man. Um, with that being said, guys, I'm gonna get up out of here and I'm gonna get up out of here. You guys, I appreciate you guys being hanging out with me tonight. Oh, forgot. Announcements. So tomorrow, Trailblazers Radio welcomes Hershey Stephenson, aka Hershey the lyricist, in the building. We are going to have a conversation about her music journey. We're going to talk about where she sees herself in the Houston, Texas hip hop scene. And you guys are going to be treated to a live performance of her song Suffer For Me. And we're going to have a discussion about that song and why it's important for us as Black men to hear the message. That's the message in that song. Sat tomorrow, Saturday, Critical Conversations is in the building. Well, since LHG is going to have a great conversation set up for you guys. And next Monday, Behind the Eye of Kai. She's gonna have Shalonda Williams in the building, and ooh, y'all are gonna be in for a treat. Oh my God, y'all gonna be in for a treat. Monday evening, tune in to Man Cave Conversations, the inaugural episode of Man Cave Conversations, and the question where I'm gonna do a do over of the check-in episode that I did Monday. But this time I'm gonna have my brothers with me. This time I'm gonna have an army of brothers with me, and we're gonna ask the question, brothers, what are we standing on? So, but let me I love you guys to life. I love you guys to live. Live life on purpose. Live life like it means something. Live life like it always is. And so, with that being said, I'm up out of here. I love you guys. The three things I always say as I end these podcasts. Number one, take care of each other. Number two, love on each other. Number three, it's a crazy world out here, y'all. And y'all know how crazy it is. But so above all things, please be safe out there. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. Be safe out there. I love you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.